Hey everyone, Glimpse here, and today we're going to be talking about Arlecchino. Right here, we're going to be testing out Constellations, some weapons. Finally got this, and then I got like 30 pity apart from these two. So, super lucky there. I did spend a tiny bit, so just getting out there. Don't think that you're going to get this in like 5 pulls or anything. So, right here, pretty cool looking character. Here are the stats we're looking at right now, 64 to 225. Actually, during the test, I want to try this build right here, just because it's going to be a little more consistent, even though the ratio is going to have a little bit less crit. This is probably better overall, so this is just us being responsible to show you a little bit higher crit rate build, so more consistency when testing everything out. All right, so first off, is the weapon going to be worth it? We're going to give that a shot. So pretty much for Arlecchino, just some weapon things you're going to want to look out for. You don't need her signature weapon, which is something I've heard. Heard a lot of differing opinions between C1 and the weapon and everything. The general consensus is C1 is going to be more damage overall, and then the weapon here is just for the drip. I'll show you guys that in a second, but pretty much main thing, you want this weapon like this. Pretty much you can substitute anything with crit as a stat stick if you want, but like this one right here has the same main stats as her signature weapon, so that's a pretty good option. She also really likes attack, so high base tech weapons. Excuse me. Calamity Queller would be a good option. I mean, I guess if you want to go with like something more attack based, you can. Same thing. Some of these crit weapons are pretty good. But yeah, pretty much you kind of want to run with weapons more like that. I heard this is a good option as well with some crit rate, normal attack speed. So I mean, she has a lot of different options you can run through. You can use Dragon's Bane or this one as well, the Missive Wind Spear. So just kind of whatever you have. It's not super mandatory for any type of weapon, but we're going to go ahead and test a couple of those out, and then we're going to take a look at the Constellations. So first, here's something that's pretty cool. So you guys see her, you can see her weapon right here. Looks pretty sick. You got like the X right here that you got across her chest as part of her design, and then the X right there across her chest, kind of like the same thing as her things. And then when you start to do normal attacks and stuff, it switches up into a scythe, which is super sick. So if you're going for the drip, you want to see her with signature, I don't blame you, all right? Like, I get it, guys. Go on, that's the main reason I was going for this before C1. So, yeah, I mean, if you get lucky, if you're close to pity, give it a shot. I mean, weapon not guaranteed. But first things first, let's just go ahead and fight a regular Rune Guard. We're not really going to use anyone else in terms of this. This is going to be a little explanation of how our kit works. For those of you that are curious, or just want a little bit more clarity on something. So we're going to go through this super simply real quick. Let's find a Rune Guard. There's one. Okay. So pretty much you're going to use our E, and it's going to leave a mark on them, similar to the child's E, how it kind of leaves a mark on them. But it does act in different ways. So let me show you this here. We're just going to shield up real quick while we explain this, so we're not busy running around. So use her E first, right? They get that X on them. You go off, you set up your other supports, do whatever you want to do, you know, and then keep watching that X right there. Look at it, changes. You charge attack, boom. Now look at the HP bar. Look how much bond to life I have, and then look at the normal attack damage just by themselves. That's like 25k right there at that last hit, just on normal attacks. So she has pretty good uptime, and then pretty much if she did take damage there, whenever you use her burst, it absorbs that red line around the HP bar at the bottom and restores that percentage HP, right? So that's the main thing. So you pretty much, you want to wait a couple seconds for that X, especially at C0, you want to wait a couple seconds for that X to get the bigger X, and that's when you know you're going to get the better buffs from it. Or if you're against multiple enemies, when you go ahead and use that charge attack like that, that's when you're going to go ahead and consume more of those marks on people. You don't have to wait the full 5 seconds to get the same amount of buffs once you start dealing with multiple enemies. But single target, to get the full buff from what you can against that one target, you're going to want to go ahead and level that up. So, taking a look here, this weapon's at level 90. We have talents at 866. This is the only really important one, and then these two are kind of just on the side. Since this is a new boss, don't worry too much about it. You pretty much want to focus all your weekly boss materials onto your normal attack, at least to get to like level 8 to start off with. So pretty much I'm going to try to, my goal is to get everything to 8 first, and then when I get a crown, I'll probably crown this one and then just leave it like that. Because all my main DPS that I get to 90, I at least crown 2 of their talents. And she's going to be the next one that I plan on doing that with. So, right here we got 266 EM, 2300 attack when on field like this, 86 163. So, let's go ahead and test out a team. This team would be a little better with Yelan. And while we're walking over here, let me explain to you something else about her that is pretty important. So, One thing about artifacts, right? The new set is pretty nice. You can also use Gladiator, but I always like to farm the specific sets for most of my characters, just because I like them on signature stuff. It's just how it goes for a lot of them. Right here on these artifacts, like these two are pretty good for early builds. I have them on EM Sands and an attack percent Goblet. That's all I've got, but it does work out pretty good because when you start vaporizing, when you start vaporizing, it's good to have some EM, just a little extra bonus. And then she gets a lot of she gets a lot of damage bonus in general. Let me show you guys that in a second. So she does scale a lot with attack. It's pretty good to have a lot of attack on her. So these two are something fine you can try out as well while you're building your new set. Ideally, it goes like attack percent and pyro damage. But like this is going to work fine as well. You guys can kind of see, just so you get an idea that artifacts do still have some room for improvement. This artifact domain like just came out, so don't expect too much of yourself. And then I have this on crit rate. Yeah, we were on this one earlier, but I just want it to be a little more, just to get some of the bigger numbers. But we kind of want to see it right here, just more consistency when we're testing it out. So maybe at the end of the video, I'll go ahead and do a run like this just to see what she's looking like at max potential of what I can do at the time being. So first off, we're just going to try her with the signature, give it a shot, and yeah, so let's get right into it. Yeah, Yelan is better for this team than Xingqiu. Currently don't have a Yelan, unfortunately, so hopefully that reruns soon, but I don't know. Some of the characters have a while before they come back. Oh, this is Midnight Masanori, so gonna take a little bit longer to fight, but you guys get some longer test run with the numbers. So you pretty much don't really have a need to run Arlecchino's burst. Oh, dude, the blocks. Okay, let's see, 40k, 80, 41. I mean, like I'm saying, that's not terrible. I mean, that was pretty quick. Like, it was very consistent, a lot of damage going on there. Yeah. So, let's see. One more thing to think about. We're gonna go ahead and when the rotations go too quickly, Bennett still gets burst back at 257. I wasn't funneling energy into him or anything, but you know, we shouldn't need to. The rotation was a little quick, so we're not going to have that burst right here. Okay, well, I was going to test it with a different weapon. We don't want... here, let's just go get that back real quick, because we don't want that to sway the results. So, we're going to go ahead and get this. We're going to test out Jade Winged Spear, and then we'll probably do like one more weapon after that, just to kind of see what we're looking at, you know? Oh, there you go. Okay, we got the burst. Let's go back right here. Oh, and I was talking about showing you guys the damage bonus. So, like, the way that specifically pyro damage gets calculated for a pyro character is the same way as, like, damage bonus increase, which is the same reason that Furina's buff is so good, because it's damage bonus, which basically is, like, an extra goblet worth of stats in a lot of cases. So, which one is it? Okay, right here. So, when in combat, 40% pyro damage bonus, which is pretty solid. Which is almost like, what's a goblet? 46.6% pyro damage. So you get almost a goblet's worth right here, but can only be healed during our ult. So if you're running with the shield, this healing passive, it's like basically you can just ignore it, you know? So that's pretty cool. And right here, the pyro damage bonus is another thing I was talking about in place of the goblet there, which is where we're going to be getting some of our damage right now without it. And then right here as well, this weapon, 25% of your max HP. Okay, so yeah, this just gives you more bond of life when a charge attack hits an opponent. All right, so once every 14 seconds, don't worry about it too much. 12. Okay, so when you have bond of life, 12% damage bonus, and then on top of that, if it's greater than 30% of the max HP, you get 24% damage bonus on top of that. So this weapon already gives you 25% bond of life when you charge attack. So you're already almost there to 30. So you're basically going to always have that extra damage bonus. So that's another thing to keep in mind. We're going to go ahead and switch this weapon over to Jade Winged Spear, because I heard that's another good one as well. Oh, and let's see, the secret hitter. You guys can also run this one. You get normal attack damage and some extra crit rate, so that's pretty good. I still don't have an R5 because I don't really pay attention that often. But yeah, so before we start looking at cons, we're going to test out this weapon really quickly, and then I guess we can... no, I don't... I do want to test this one out, but then I feel like it's going to get messed up with the crit rate stats. Let's see, what is this? EM is attack. Like, that's pretty good too. I guess we can test out. Oh no, let's see. Deathmatch is attack. Attack is increased after defeating the enemy. Okay, we'll give deathmatch a shot as like the 4-star weapon here. After the fact, just so we get the crit rate of it, and we're not really skewing your perception based on how much crit damage is there. So I think that's fair. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. I switched the weapon, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, wrong button. I actually haven't really tested her out yet at all, so this is my first time kind of seeing the numbers with you guys. So charge attack, alright, and of course he's shielding. 77k. Why am I doing so much more damage? Okay, wait, no. I think I'm missing something, because he didn't die as fast. I think I was doing more damage. Okay, we'll go back and try it again after. But yeah, this weapon's pretty good. Okay, don't take that test for solid, because that shouldn't be doing more. So let's see. Attack increased by 6%, max 7 stacks. Okay, so yeah, this just really stacks a whole bunch of attack for you, which is pretty cool. Bennett's still low, so... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, let's go back right here and try this one more time. And then we're going to try it. So, pretty much, the reason you don't use her burst is because her normal attack scalings are so high that by taking the time to use your burst, there's almost no real point to using that time for your burst when your burst does about the same damage as 2 normal attacks, and there's no real point in taking the time for that when you could just spam normal attacks that whole time, and especially because your burst consumes your bond of life. So pretty much you only want to use that if you're like in emergency and you need to heal, or you just want to restart your rotations and everything. So don't worry too much about that. That's just like a little side bonus thing that, especially if you want to run her in solo, like whenever I do my solo videos and stuff, I might give her a shot in a few things, because she seems like a better solo character than Hu Tao would be. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and test out our weapon. This is her signature again. I think we were getting like 75k on the last one. I feel like I'm misremembering something, because I don't think it was doing that much. So I get distracted when I'm over here talking. Okay, so here we're just doing regular. Okay, charge attack, 50k's. Okay, 109. There you go. Yeah, I did something wrong last time, because yeah, that's definitely more damage here. Okay, I don't get when he does this though. Okay, but here, let me show you guys a demonstration, right? So you can use her E, right? Look at that bond of life. You ult, then watch her HP bar. So you see, then you're just back up to full, you know? But then you also lose your bond of life, so no pyro infusion there. Let's just go ahead and work on this, on getting our thing back, our burst and everything. But yeah, you can see that I did something wrong the first time, because the damage was definitely better second time around there. Okay. So we saw a 109, I think, as one of the highest attacks there. Let's go ahead and switch over to like a small spender weapon right here, and then we're going to get into Constellations, because I think that's pretty fun to look at. So with this, you're going to go ahead and take a look. Attack's going to be like 300 lower. Whoa, we're over capped on that. Okay, because I don't like switching around the stuff too much, but because of the low base attack, we're going to go ahead and try this, because we can now. So there you go. Attack's going to be a little lower, but because we switched this over, we're probably going to see higher numbers, but I honestly don't know. We're going to see how good this weapon is and go from there. Because that's a lot more crit damage, you know? Okay. Alright, should Arlecchino first. Oh, it's probably because he was shielding. That's why we're doing such little damage. But yeah, 97k. Yeah, this is like... Yeah, so this right here looks like about Jade Winged Spear when we switch over to the crit damage. So I mean, is this a perfect test? No, because obviously you're not going to get perfect artifact substats each time. But like I'm saying, this isn't a terrible option. I actually did like that. Okay, let's switch back over to this one as well, just to give a free-to-play option. Okay, now we're on a crit damage weapon. 64, 218. Is that what our crit rate was? I thought it was higher than... Oh, because of the weapon. Yeah, yeah. So... yeah, this is what we were on for the test. Okay. That should be fine. Here, let's just get our Bennett Burst right here. But yeah, I mean, overall you can see that these weapons aren't like crazy different. None of them are necessary or anything. Let's go ahead and get Bennett Burst. Okay. So let's see, there's an 83. Yeah, so none of these you saw hit that 109 that we saw with the signature. And that was without... yeah, so none of these did hit the 109 like the signature, and that was without the extra artifacts swapping around. So, I mean, you see, most of these are pretty fine. Let's go ahead and, last thing, I want to test her signature with the crit damage one. Oh, okay, well, I was like, what is it attack percent? Okay, so here's our ratio here. This is the one thing that I used when messing around with it a bit. I do need to get more crit rate on this build though. I kind of want to see what it's like once you get to like higher crit damage builds. Okay. Okay, so here you go. Attack. Switch over. Let's see what we're getting. There's a 118, 125. But you definitely see, like, you see it's less consistent for the testing and everything. There's a 50k. So is that 125? Was that the new highest at C0? So, like I'm saying, these artifacts, I mean, they're pretty solid, but it's nothing insane. I feel like this is definitely attainable for most people if they just keep farming the domain enough. So, it's not like insanely crazy stats or anything. But now we have that, so we're going to keep the stats like this for now, since you guys got to just see the base run, since we're going to mess with Constellations for a bit. Okay, so C1 is, I've heard, one of the best Constellations, C1's in the game. So pretty much all this does is, so the Red Death, Mask of the Red Death, that's like the increase in your normal attacks. So basically, if you go ahead and take a look at the normal attacks right here, let's see, where's it at? Mask of the Red Death, right here. Bond to life. So if your bond to life is greater than 30%, which, I mean, you're going to have it more than 30%. For a lot of this time. So pyro damage, let's see. Ammo attacks. Okay, here you go. So Mask of the Red Death increase is 205%. So you already get 205%, and then this one will increase it by 100%. So 305% effectively. And it also affects your interruption to resistance when, let's see, when she performs normal or charge attacks while affected by Mask of the Red Death. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and test this out for a bit. So pretty much if you don't have the resistance to interruption, you'll just be doing normal attacks and stuff, and then you get hit, you're gonna go fly back. All right, and then this you can really just keep attacking, you know. Kind of like Raiden Shogun, if you play her DPS or anything without a shield. Sometimes you'll be playing her and you'll see you like won't be paying attention at all. You just be spamming normal attacks, zoning off into the distance, and then next thing you know, you're dead. You're like, whoa, when did that happen? You know. So so now we got C1. We're gonna do a bit more damage, I'm guessing. But let's see how much of a difference you can kind of see from this. Okay, so go ahead and get Bennett Burst. Okay, charge attack, ready? Let's see what we're getting. 72, 75. Was that 189 or was that 18,000? 30k, 60k, 55. I mean, all the other buffs are gone now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get his burst back real quick. Let's see if we can do this one more time. Okay, let's see if we can speed switch. Let's see what we're getting. Oh, maybe we didn't get to see the final number. That's fine. We'll try this one more time right here. You definitely saw some higher like base numbers and everything. Oh, and we're out of combat there, so you saw that she was getting healed a bit. We can probably get our burst back at the start of this rotation. So we're gonna give this one more shot and hopefully stay in the ring for longer. Okay. Okay, you can see that pretty much even just like messing around, her burst. Okay, let's check this out. 135, 136, 106. Yeah, okay, there you go. That was a little better. That was fast, dude. Those numbers were pretty impressive. Like, you see she keeps the pyro infusion, you switch off, you switch back on, you know? And then you can actually, like, swap back and forth between characters. Like, very rarely you see characters you can just swap back and forth like that. Like, I messed around with her very, very slightly. This is my first time looking at most of these numbers. And I saw myself, like, when I was normal attacking, my brain's like, oh, you gotta keep going till it's gone. Just because most characters in the game, you see, they like punish you for switching out. But no, you can just switch on and off whenever you want, and you'll keep the bond alive. And so the infusion stays there. Super cool. So yeah, that was the main thing there. Then going ahead and taking a look at C2 right here. Blood Debt directives are already Blood Debt due. Okay, so the directive is when you first press E and there's the small X on them. Whenever you apply it on anybody, it's already the fully charged one. So you don't have to wait the 5 seconds for it. That's just like a quality life thing. But this part, pretty much when you're swapping off to your supports and everything, unless you're playing her solo, that doesn't seem super crazy or anything. But I mean, like, it's quality life. When I was switching to supports, I don't think I ever switched off to my supports and then switched back onto her, and I had to wait a couple seconds just waiting around, wasting your time. Because, I mean, 5 seconds is a decent amount of time, especially in a team like this where you're EQE on like other characters and stuff. It's not too bad or anything. So at C0, she's definitely a pretty solid character, as you could see. C1 definitely ramped up her damage a pretty solid amount, I would say. Okay, she absorbs. So pretty much when she absorbs the Blood Debt due. So there's gonna be this little damage thing in front of her that does 900% of her attack. Okay, so you switch on to her. So you use her E, switch off to your supports, whatever, come back on, and then when you go to use the charge attack to absorb those X's across their body, 900% of her attack, you're going to get a pyro damage just on them. Let's see. Increasing elemental and physical resistance by 20%. Okay, once again, this seems more like a solo character type increase. But yeah, this extra damage is going to be nice just for like a one hit. Does it say how often? Let's see. Pretty much just whenever you absorb it. So that's just like a one hit type thing. Nothing crazy, but this right here is just also like a quality of life. So C3 is her normal attack, which is pretty impressive, and then C5 is Veil Moon Rising. What's that? Yeah, that's her ult. Okay, so normal attack in ult. We've seen a lot more characters doing the normal attack thing here, like Ryo and Liney. So, I mean, it's good because, like, say their E and Q aren't too beneficial for their damage. If you do plan on going for this, it's fine. You're getting a little more bang for your buck there. I'm not going past C2. That's just kind of what I'm at. I'm going to stay for Clarin now. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it is for there. Nothing necessary, but it is helpful if you do really like this character. And then I heard that her C4 and F5 and everything aren't too crazy. Pretty much only go for these if you want to go for C6 and have the money to spend to just throw at it, you know. So whenever she absorbs her E move with the charge attack, the ult's cooldown will be decreased by 2 seconds and 15 elemental energy will be restored. So pretty much it just makes your elemental, your ER requirements not as heavy. And I mean, there's no real point to that. I mean, you don't want to be using her ult that often unless you really need to. So like it's a nice emergency button to have, not necessary. Then right here at C6, the damage of the ult is increased by her attack multiplied by 700% of her current bond of life percentage for 20 seconds after she uses all his ash, both her normal attacks. Okay, all his ash is her E. Yeah, I'm assuming. Yep. So pretty much whenever you tap her E, you get Your normal attacks and elemental burst gain 10% increased crit damage, 70% increase. Oh wait, 10% increased crit rate, 70% crit damage. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, just a damage buff as well. But once again, nothing crazy. So you don't really need any cons on her, which you can see. But let's go ahead. We already activated C2, so we're going to test this out. And then pretty much call it a night. So yeah, if you did make it this far, you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the deal. Let me know what you think down below. Are you pulling for Arlecchino? Are you going to get any cons, weapons, whatever you want? So it's cool to be able to see what's pretty important. But yeah, pretty much they say that C1 is going to be the most free damage. So watch this. Tap her E. Oh, look, you can already charge attack it. Yeah, dude, that's pretty nice. So you don't have to worry about it. I mean, like I'm saying, you're already not really worrying about it in teams like this. Okay, charge attack. Was that? I think that 125 was from the 900% over attack. 151. I think that's the new high. 80k, 20. So yeah, that was pretty cool. He did go out of the ring pretty quickly, which kind of sucks. So let's get our burst back and everything. Oh look, you can just go like this. And then, yeah, and then just go right into charge attack. So, like, that's cool if you don't really want to take the time to swap off your supports, or like, say, that makes her a little better for overworld, because, say you're just walking around, there's like a hillage hurl, and you don't want to spend all your time doing the, here, watch this, look, HP. I should have kept that for more damage, but, no, we'll show you the showcase, like, from base level. So you don't want to do the hillage hurl, just, oh yeah, and that burst resets her E cooldown, which is nice. So, charge attack, in case you guys didn't see it last time. Isn't that sick? But, what was I saying? No, I don't get distracted easily. Okay, so, yeah, say you're just fighting a hillage hurl or anything in the world, you're just walking by it. You're like, oh man, it would suck to have to wait 5 seconds for the hillage hurl to get enough damage. Just tap E and immediately charge attack, and then you can start doing your enhanced normal attacks. So, I mean, I think that's a win for, like, just for overworld. It's not super necessary, though, and, like, but yeah, it just makes it a little more versatile. So C2 is definitely not necessary. If you want an early con to stop at, C1's a pretty good option. But same thing here, you saw that her weapon was pretty solid as well. So, let's go ahead and give this a shot. Hopefully we stay in the ring this time. I mean, I guess there's no real reason to do that first now, but, I mean, just, you can kind of use it whenever. It's not super strict. I guess just, we can, dude. You gotta stop blocking, man. Okay, what is this? Oh my gosh. When half of her bond of life is gone. Like, wasting my time. You see, like, that's a pretty good use for it there, you know? Okay, because he wasted so much time there, let's go ahead and just run back into this with the bond of life we already have on her. Like, dude, yeah, I don't even have, so I don't even have her E back yet because I kind of rushed into this, but let's pretend you didn't see that. Look, dude, why are you blocking? Oh, there's 162. I mean, that damage is pretty solid. That was pretty good. He was blocking, I think we saw like a 162 there. And then, let's go ahead and try this one last time for good measure. Hopefully he's not blocking this time. Masanori. Like, okay, here's what I don't get. They put Masanori in basically to be the test dummy, and then they make him be terrible at being a test dummy. Like, dude, at this point, literally just put in the test dummy Genshin. I don't get it. I've complained about that kind of before, but just, I always remember that when I'm trying to test things for a video or just test characters in general. Okay, let's see what we're getting into here. I mean, that damage is pretty solid. She's pretty damn good. Then we just want to heal back up. We're out of combat. Who cares? Look at that. Boom. Full health. And then the E's ready to go again. This character has a lot of uptime with their damage. That's sick. Closing thoughts? Yeah, I mean, C1 was definitely the most impactful Constellation there, but I love the drip of the weapon. If you... What am I doing? Dude, it's just a habit. Okay, well, you guys get another little run real quick while I do the outro, I guess. But yeah, so C1 was the most impactful I saw from all the gameplay and everything. Here he's blocking again, that's what he does. You kind of want to, but like I'm saying, I definitely don't blame you if you go for the weapon. That's what I was going for first. That drip is so sick. Like, just seeing this big weapon right here, the big scythe swing around and not that little electrolyte thing, it makes a difference for playstyle. That's sarcasm. So yeah, whoa, yeah, look at all that bond of life. That's pretty crazy. You know what, let's go over here real quick again. Was it this one? Let's just go see how much damage we're doing with, like, just her bond of life on these guys. Oh, they don't have the X. It's fine, we already have bond of life. 47k. 41. Dude. 36, 35. So you see that, like, as the bond of life burns, her damage starts to go down a little bit, but still, that's pretty good for just her damage. Wow, I'm impressed. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't think this is the most damage I've ever seen on a character or anything, but still, that's definitely up there. She's probably one of the top DPS if you were to just ask me based on current stats. Like I'm saying, these aren't perfect. These aren't perfect artifacts whatsoever. They're pretty good though. For a new domain, these are pretty solid. I can't complain. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and once again, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope you guys all have a great day. So talk to you later. See ya.